Hello everybody and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're having an amazing week. Currently it is Thursday and let's get right into the charts as Bitcoin is right now trading at exactly $110,000. As you can see, we are right now slightly pushing above our weekly pivot. You can see right here, basically right now we are forming some very interesting pattern. If we look at it on the daily or on the 12-hour, you can see we are making somewhat of a bullish head and shoulders pattern. You can see basically this right here is potentially forming up a bullish pattern. So I will not be surprised if we get another push basically towards the POC of this range that we have right here. I think we are due for a potential bigger retracement to the upside, because if we look at the weekly, we have had basically two, almost three, if we count this weekly candle right now, basically bearish weekly candles. And as you know, price tends to basically do retrace after such a bearish time. Basically we are going to be getting somewhat of a relief potentially. I am still leaning bearish until we hit my targets right here, which is sitting at $98,000, or potentially the lower target, which it is also very possible that we get hit, but as you know, this won't happen overnight. We are potentially going to be getting, if we look back in February 2025, basically this year, we got 3 weeks of basically very boring sideways continuation. You can see right here that was basically 21 days, almost a month, that we had right here consolidating sideways. And basically it is possible that we see something like this right here, and we also might get another bullish move, as I said, towards the upside, basically towards 117 or 116k would be my targets for a bullish move back up. Since we are still in October, nobody, you don't need to forget this, we are still potentially in a very historically bullish month, which is, in my opinion, going to wreck both longs and shorts. As you know, right now we did get a lot of long positions, a lot of late longs that have been long right here, basically, or trapped at the all-time high, already liquidated with this move towards the downside. And if we get another push from these lows towards the POC at 117k, 116, we are going to be liquidating all the late shorters that were right here. And then the real move towards the downside will potentially happen. This is how I am imagining the scenario playing out for Bitcoin. Basically, this will be for the long term. For the short term, I am expecting another potential push towards 114k, which would be a move of around 3-4%, you can see, to the upside for Bitcoin. If we look at Ethereum testing once again, you can see the 4-yearly resistance basically right now acting as support. We are still to confirm basically a candle closure below it. You can see price is really struggling to hold this line as support and not flip it back into resistance. If we do flip it back into resistance, it is possible that we get another retracement towards the downside, basically of these levels right here. 2500 for Ethereum would be very possible target. Hype is pumping today. You can see we got a nice move towards the upside, basically I think around 15-20%, almost 20% of a push today, because Hype just got listed on spot trading on Robinhood, and as you know, this is like a big brokerage firm. They basically are very famous, and since they are listing Hype, of course Hype, this would be very good news for the Hyperliquid token. And we can see it is behaving very nicely and looking bullish. Solana also is pushing towards the weekly pivot, sitting right now at $190. SUI is still struggling, basically very boring price consolidation right here. XRP also struggling at the weekly pivot. The pump token, the same story with the pump token, it is also struggling at the weekly pivot at the moving averages, you can see. Also, all of them are looking still very bad on the higher time frames. If you look at the stock market is doing very nice still. The Nasdaq, in my opinion, is behaving very nicely and potentially ready to put in a new all-time high if we don't get a rejection during tomorrow's CPI data. I do think we are going to be getting the CPI data tomorrow. Basically, I don't think the government will open up again, but they will give us exclusively the data for tomorrow. So we are going to be seeing some very volatility coming into the market. So be careful trading around the news tomorrow. The S&P 500 also sitting very near the all-time high. If you look at the Bitcoin dominance, in my opinion, the Bitcoin dominance is gearing up for another potential push towards the upside. As you can see, the last time that we had a week like this, then the domination continued to rise basically for after the week towards the high. We got 92 days, and if we measure it after the week towards the highs, 92 days would be around January. So we might see more Bitcoin targeted moves until January if the same pattern repeats right here. The dollar is also trying to push towards the upside, still struggling in between the moving averages and above and still below this high right here. But once, in my opinion, if the dollar breaks out and the moving averages start curving nice and up towards the upside, then we are going to be seeing the dollar getting stronger, and this is when we will see potentially that bigger correction coming for Bitcoin. Since, as I always say, the weaker the dollar, the stronger the Bitcoin, and the stronger the dollar, the weaker Bitcoin gets. But this, of course, cycles. Every time we do have a dollar run, as you know, Bitcoin is going down. So this is completely normal. We need to have those cycles so we can get those nice buy opportunities on Bitcoin and the other altcoins. Now, if you look at the liquidation heat map, you can see a lot of liquidity is piling up on the downside. You can see after these moves today, which is something to keep in mind of. The ETF inflows, as you can see, we did get another red day without BlackRock. Only BlackRock was buying, and this Valkyrie also. So most of the bigger institutions were selling yesterday, which is something also to be careful of. Fear and Greed Index still hovering around 28. You can see we are slightly approaching the extreme fear zone, but not quite yet. In my opinion, we need to see another sharp drop towards the downside in order for the Fear and Greed Index to reach into that extreme zone. Long versus shorts ratio for the day would be more shorts in the market, as you can see overall. But you can see on Hyperliquid we do have the bigger whales that are trading on there. Mostly on the exchange are long, and as you can see they were right about today being long, since Bitcoin got a nice move towards the upside, while Hyperliquid was bullish and every other exchange was being bearish. So as I always say, this is very nice sign to look for if you're wondering which direction the market would be going. Funding rates are right now negative on the major exchanges, as you can see, not on everyone, but still we are potentially going to be seeing the funding flipping negative, as you know. Once price, if price starts breaking lower, we are going to be seeing that longs will start paying the shorts again. What else should we? The news, as I have said, we will get very important CPI data tomorrow. So be careful trading tomorrow, guys. I hope you liked my video and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.